And welcome. This is the Valenti Soundoff. I'm so excited to be back. I am Ishma here with my sister Shali. We are on channel 724, the only place that you can see us every single Tuesday. We're going to be talking that real stuff because we don't have that type of filter. We have the type of filter we're going to be able to listen, but not that type of filter. Shali, you're excited to be here?
I'm always excited to be here.
Yes. Thank you for holding it down for me last week.
You already
I appreciate
know.
you. Shout out to Mimi, the queen. She did her thing. Shout out to my homie Meech, because that's, you know what I'm saying, her king, her other half, you know what I'm saying? And that's my homie, been my homie for life.
Yeah.
So moving on, we got a lot to talk about, don't we, this week?
Correct.
What are we going to talk about, Shali?
Man, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the most talked about in the culture right now.
Yes. So they only get that on channel 724, the good, the bad, the most cultured. And, you know, they said, are we going to do something else? Well, you know what? We're going to keep it the same, and we're going to keep on talking that real.
We're going to keep it simple.
So I remember that one. That's good. That's good. That's good stuff right there. So peep this. What was the biggest thing that happened in the NCAA?
So they want to...
Beyond Oklahoma getting beat.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow, K-State.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Wildcats.
K-State. Yeah, I got somebody who really into K-State. So yeah, they went ahead and did.
So
but
what happened to
NCAA, right? Looks like they're trying to follow the lead as California and many other states that want to adapt the same bill that California has now had passed. Right.
Yes.
Back in September, they passed that bill where young college athletes can get paid by their likeness, their names, and you know, and everything in those sorts.
They can take advantage of them, of themselves,
and still be able to be the college athletes that the school wants them to be. Right?
Yes. So we think it's super important for the culture.
Right.
These young brothers are going to be able to get paid. They're going to be able to do what they need to do. But I think the most important thing, and the real thing that's really, really great, is they're going to be able to get us a new EA Sports college football game, right? Are you excited about this?
Man, EA Sports, it's super big classic, and I'm excited about this. Not just because EA Sports, but I think that's what those kids deserve. That's what they deserve because they work hard for it.
Yes.
They showing up and doing that job. What it turns out to be at the end of the day, being a college athlete. So.
Most definitely. So what I'm excited about is that they're not going to have the handcuffs on them anymore, right? Mm-hmm. They can make YouTube channels. They can go out there and do, if they want to, they can do a commercial for like a car company.
But they did state, right, that it's not going to be as intense as the California bill is, which is like unrestricted free access to anything and everything. Now, are there going to be like stipulations like they get a percentage of whatever that they get or things of that nature, right? How is that going to work out? How fully invested are they going to be in the actual of them getting it, the money that they deserve for their likeness?
So really, it might not just be like, this isn't like laissez-faire, just let the young brothers do what they can do, the young sisters do what they can do. It may be a little bit more structured than that.
Maybe a little bit.
The NCAA always has a trick up their sleeve, right?
Nobody knows, but supposedly by 21, they want to have something in place and activated by then by everybody across the board.
Sure. Well, so I'm excited about that. Now we talk about a lot of things in the culture, a lot of things that, you know, go on, and something big in just the society in general. I don't think happened, right? I don't think you could have got on social media last Friday, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I don't think you could have got on any of those platforms without seeing something about that drop of Jesus is King from Kanye West.
Woo!
It was monumental, and everybody had something to say about it, good or bad. And people who never even think about Kanye West, never even talk about Kanye West, were talking about Kanye West. Again, good or bad. And so that being said, what do you feel like that Kanye West, that Jesus is King was for society? Or, you know, what's your opinion? What's your take on it?
I mean, it was, I definitely listened to it as soon as I was told that it was out.
Mm-hmm. Who alerted you to that?
You already know, Ish.
Oh, okay. I was
Great
sure.
and powerful Ish with that hat that's looking like that tonight. But Kanye is monumental in everything he does. Whether you like him or not, he takes over it. And he does it very well. That Jesus is King is by far one of the best albums that I've heard.
Wow.
But at the same time, Kanye is not my favorite artist by any means.
Oh, he isn't?
Like,
okay.
No, there just is a couple things though, like, you know, he just did that interview about with the word about talking about being a Christian and stuff like that. I watched the interview, but you know,
I haven't watched the whole interview yet.
He talked about being a Christian and stuff like that, and I always think that like there is bits and parts like how can you know, like it just, I don't know, it just seems a little far-fetched in some of the things I feel like he be reaching at, but music was good. I
think that, you know, and I'm not going to judge the man or the music specifically, because I think one thing that we do hyper vigilantly towards black artists especially is we judge black art. We judge black art with a veracity that we don't any other art. And whether that's a medium of architecture, it's a medium of music, a medium of poetry or writing, we seem to analyze in some way that takes away an artist just being an artist. So I'll preclude with that first. Now moving on, I really, of course, I thought it was a wonderful musical album, right? It did some things for me personally. It brought back Clips. And I've been waiting to hear Clips come back forever because Malice, now no Malice, became a preacher. And he turned on to the gospel. And, you know, he has a really great documentary, I think it's still on Netflix, about his change from being a rapper into the church. Now, what was exciting to me was we got a verse from No Malice on that joint. And Kenny G was on the track. Which was crazy, right? Kanye does stuff that nobody else does. Who brings Kenny G into a hip hop gospel track? And I thought it was going to be more gospel. I thought it was going to be more Sunday service because we've been listening to Sunday service for a year. But it didn't happen. My close homie, he said that it's probably going to be next week or something. Kanye's going to drop something out of nowhere. He's going to drop that Sunday service album really out of nowhere, basically. And it's going to be, but anyways, lyrically, how it sounded, everything, again, I feel like it was a classic Kanye album. What you get from Kanye, you're going to get great beats, great production, great collaboration, and it's going to be a monumental album, and people are going to talk about it no matter what, whether they like them, don't like them. So, right, so...
The sound was righteous. It really was, but, you know, Kanye is Kanye.
But, so when we start getting to judging people, right, our dad, excuse me. So our daddy, he, but I don't know if he told you this. He told me this, but I don't know if he told you this, because it might be some information that
I'm thinking about.
Hit him with the Jason's lyric.
Yeah.
But, excuse me, the thing is that my dad said, he used to say, something can look a certain way, or something can really, really seem a certain way, and it can be almost for sure, but it really isn't. It really isn't that way, right? Now, let's think about Dave Chappelle. What was that, 10 or 12 years ago? Right? Everybody and a lot of people are like, oh, Dave Chappelle, he's on crack. He ran away to Africa, gave up 50 million. What is he thinking? What he's doing? He's crazy. Dave Chappelle's gone crazy. He did a couple interviews. He said some things that we don't right now agree with. Now, looking back, watch those interviews again right now. And they make a lot of sense. When you hear and see exactly what happened with Dave, you're like, wow, like, you know, Dave really got on some real stuff and was saying, you know what, they're not laughing with me, they're laughing at me. And my integrity is more than this stuff and this 50 million or whatever like that. You see, he made a comeback and got that 60 now. You know what I'm saying? Made his comeback.
That sticks and stuff, that everything, that whole series he got going on.
But so that's, I think, what we can kind of look at when we want to judge people so quickly. So that's why I'm not trying to judge this man so quickly, right? And then a lot of people are even going to the thing saying, you know, he's, you know, I don't know, using the church or to get fame, or he's.
But I know a lot of people though too who have jumped on it. Like, who are you to say who can love Jesus and who you know who has found him, and you know look at how he is progressed, and he seems like a God-fearing man. So, but I do see on the other end of the side how people do are on the other end. Like, is he just using this as a publicity stunt? You know, like that's how most people think. like you said, people are gonna judge, right? It just depends on. And Kanye already told you he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He said,
You think he is doing it for himself.
Make it feel like nobody loved me.
Nobody loved me. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that album, it was just a great musical album.
So one thing I appreciate about this album, and I'm just gonna talk about
besides everything.
Yeah, besides all those other stuff, but my personal things, like I said, I'm not trying to judge this man's music, but say one of my favorite songs ever, my family's favorite songs, Ultralight Beam.
Ultralight Beam.
I'm on an Ultralight Beam. So Ultralight Beam. That was it. What happens is this: the first 4 bars, when he comes on rapping, your kids can't listen to. Right? You find myself turning down the music real fast. Sure. Oh no, excuse me, not Ultralight Beam, I'm tripping. Father Stretch My Hands, excuse me. So Father Stretch My Hands, that's the one. So Father Stretch My Hands, it's like one of our ultimate favorite songs, so is Ultralight Beam. Yeah. But so that comes on, and the first 4 bars you can't listen to. You got to turn it down real fast because he said some off the wall crazy stuff that's totally not appropriate for anybody, right? Well, excuse me, not anybody, but for the kids, of course. But this album here, everything that he says and everything that is about these songs are non-explicit. Like the whole family can listen to them. My kids can listen to them. I don't have to go try to edit something or find the edited version. Everything is able to be listened to and enjoyed by a whole family. And I really appreciate that. And Kanye's at a different place in his life, right? Like he has kids. He's older. He has a wife and kids, and he's trying to turn that leaf into this different type of existence that he's at, I feel like, and I think that's beautiful. People hate on that, that's fine. You don't have to agree. You show me one man you agree with everything that they say 100%.
He's been saying he a God, now he just preaching about God.
Okay.
What's the difference? What's wrong with the man? That's what they don't want. They don't want to see you over here, preaching about that, right? What they rather hear you preaching about.
Well, of course, they would love to see some other things.
Category, that little pump stuff.
Now, the last thing, somebody put up a good point, I feel like, and they said they don't want, I think Kanye had some in that interview. I didn't watch the whole interview. When he was doing another interview, he said something about, what black culture has become. Like, riding this and doing somebody else's girl in a foreign. And somebody made the point that, for an artist that never wants to be put in a box like Kanye, he shouldn't put black culture in a box like that and say this is what black culture has become, right? Because that's just a little subdivision of black culture. It's really just a subdivision of some of rap culture. It's not even hip hop culture. It's a subdivision of hip hop culture that has glorified all these other things consistently, right? And so to blanket that all into saying that's what the culture has came to, I think I would agree, with the brother that says that that's lame to say, right? But then again, I don't know the whole context and exactly where he's trying to bring it, but it's tough because when you're that big and when you say things, they're out there. Now, is this all by design, right? Is Kanye doing this is he meaning to do all this?
Yeezy.
Right.
Is it another Yeezy?
That's a genius move a lot of times.
Ugly. I don't care what price. I don't care what price. He told us that's why he charged the prices that he charged.
So now you hating on what the brother's clothes
He can't be out here dancing with the stars.
Yeah, I love that. I love that line as well.
That's pretty dope. I said that.
Definitely.
No, they are ugly. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't like the slips, but then again, hey,
But who are you?
Minimalist.
Who doesn't like somebody? Who doesn't like that stuff? Yeah.
Well, so we talked a little bit of Kanye, and we talked a little bit of NCA.
Tiny bit of NCA.
Just a tiny bit of NCA. Now, when we talk about there is an election coming up, and I know we don't get ultra political always, right? But it seems like real soon it's gonna get, we're closing in on that year mark, and it's gonna start getting real serious. And when it gets real serious, it gets ugly, right? How do you think that we can try to promote throughout the community a way that we don't have to get ugly with these politics so much, to where a person who's going to want to, support any side is going to be able to sit with another person and sit there and not be at each other's throats? Do you think that this can happen this election cycle coming around?
You hope that people around this time around are doing it for for their own satisfaction of whatever they believe is right. Because at the end of the day, people are going to be trying to pull you one way or the other, and convince you that their way is the better way, and just try this out and see if this is right.
So tell me who to vote for right now.
But my goodness, this is some. It's some crazy stuff. No, you're not gonna do that. Vote Valenti. That's what it's supposed
Vote
to
Valenti. That has a ring to it. Yeah. Vote Valenti.
Pushing for
2024. Dang it! It's not too early. It's not too early. But that being said, so what it talks about here, I think our theme here is owning yourself, right? The NCAA, owning yourself, knowing who you are. Kanye West, owning himself, trying to know who he is, right? And should we be hating? Should we be mad? Should we be judging these other people who trying to be who they are, know who they are? What do you think?
I think that we all inadvertently judge somebody at all times. But to be real with yourself, you have to make sure that whoever it's in, then you say, can we all sit down and be kind and stuff like that? It's hard when you're seeing the people who you voting for, right? Up there side swiping each other, with these little digs. As nicely as they can put it, even Elizabeth Warren, the most, if you look at her, you look at this older lady, you ain't thinking like that's the thing, like everybody has a little bit to say negatively about somebody. I know I don't want to be a person who wants to think negative right off the bat about somebody. That's not the type of energy I want reciprocated towards me, and I definitely don't want to reciprocate it to somebody else.
So you get some healing stones for that.
Hey man, you get a lot of things for that, especially healing stones.
Speaking of healing stones, we'll give a couple shout outs real quick, right? First off, Channel 724, only place that you can get the Valenti Soundoff. Next, we have the grand opening of the Good Earth 2, Friday in Paris Studios, 1410 O Street, 14th and O. You go right upstairs, right above all the really, really, really cool things, right? You're going to be able to go up there and see some awesome stuff. My producer's in the back. He's excited about the Good Earth 2. He is super excited. That's my partner. I appreciate that brother being so excited. But we have really awesome things coming to Paris Studios first Friday to see some really, really awesome things, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about a lot. We told you, don't be afraid to do you, know who you are, own yourself, be you. Maybe before we hate, let's look in the mirror a little bit more, right? We have anything else before we sound out?
No, we're going to keep it short and
sweet. Feeling good?
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, feeling great. How are you? That's
even better, what do you want to do?
Okay, bring it back then. All right, we appreciate y'all. Come catch us next week. Only on channel 724. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Until next time, sounding off. Dun, dun, dun.